Hello, I hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel. And without getting too overly sentimental, it does feel really good to say that. I am so sorry to everyone who I left in a lurch with this very unanticipated hiatus that I took. Excuse me, it has been really upsetting for me personally to not be part of the booktube community, to have left my booktuber friends kind of hanging, to have left my subscribers hanging. And so I wanted to come back and tell you what's been going on and what the plans are for the channel and all of that. This is the second time I'm filming this video. It was supposed to go up last week and then some of the files were corrupted. So we're sitting down more formally in my office. Sorry, there's nothing exciting behind me, but just to have a quick chat and tell you what's going on and apologize a million times over for anyone who I caused alarm. That was certainly not my intention. So where have I been? That is the long part of this video, I feel like, because so much has gone on since basically my last video, which was at some point during the summer. It might have been sometime in August, but effectively, as you guys will know from vlogs and videos that I spoke about in the summer, I did buy a house, my little blue Victorian, whose name is Florence. Yes, I did name my house. My father does not approve, but she makes a lot of old house noises, and especially in the colder months, there are certain heating noises that grate my nerves and make me really anxious. And so I named her after Florence Foster Jenkins, the amateur soprano singer. But yeah, Florence and I have been getting better acquainted. And honestly, I think I underestimated how much of an adjustment it would be moving into my house. I knew it would be a lot. I knew the packing up everything, unpacking everything would be a lot of work. But then it was also the getting into a routine part, because I went from living in a house full of people to it just being me and Flo. Me and Florence hanging out. I don't have pets yet, so literally me, Florence, and some of my houseplants. It has been an adjustment. And it's been kind of difficult to fall into a routine, because now all of the things that are usually spread across multiple people fall entirely onto me. So I underestimated that quite a bit, and the level of stress and things that would go into it. But also in the course of moving in and getting settled, I had some major work done, both of which were unexpected, that really just threw everything off kilter. One was that I decided to get work done on the chimney and fireplace, which I originally thought would just be a clean and adding basically a tube down the chimney. And it ended up not being that. It ended up being about 24 hours of refurbishment of the chimney and fireplace so that it was up to code, dust everywhere. And then maybe 2.5 weeks after that, I had plumbing issues because of roots. And that was about a week of upheaval with the plumber coming, doing work. And that was literally right after I think I had filmed my reading slump vlog. And so all of the work that I'd done there to get out of a reading slump because of all the stress of moving just flew out the window. I ended up writing 2 very, very large checks not that long after I'd moved in, and it was a lot. And I was very fortunate to be able to do that but it was still a lot of stress. And it kind of set me back because I'd already been in a reading slump because of stress and everything going on, and like I just felt like I couldn't get a break. And so yeah, it was a lot. And that wasn't even like the end of it. So I moved in, had this stuff done, been like slowly but surely making it feel like home, decorating, painting, etc. And towards the end of August, my uncle passed away. That was a really difficult time. I wanted to be there to support my mother because it was her older brother. I wanted to be there to support my cousins. We drove up to Canada, and we were there for a few days, but obviously having any loss in the family is very tough on everyone. And so I was dealing with that very soon after all the house things. And then like things were okay, like work was busy, but then like my grandmother, whose birthday was in August, she's 101, she has had some health issues, which I mean, you have to expect when you're 101, which I know sounds like a flex, but how often do you get to say that age? She has just kind of been a little bit touch and go, and that has been stressful for everyone. And there have been a few times when I've like driven down because I was like, I need to see her just in case something happens. So I've had a lot going on with the house, with my family, and just with work. Like this video was supposed to go up last week before the files were corrupted, but then I had a business trip and I worked 25 to 30 hours in a 48-hour period. So it's been a roller coaster, and that's really where I've been. It's been dealing with family stuff. It's been dealing with house stuff. It's been getting like acclimated to my new city. I've had a lot of people coming up to see me. I had a friend who spent a weekend. I had another friend who spent a weekend. Mom is always coming up, which I love. Relatives just stopping in to see how I was doing. And suffice it to say, all of this stress has created a very prolonged reading slump, which meant that even if I did have time to film, I have no books to talk about, or I had no books to talk about. I read those books for that reading vlog, started a few, and didn't finish any of them afterwards. It's partly been the stress, which I know is a trigger for me with reading slumps, but I think it's also been a situation where my reading muscle is no longer used to work. It's kind of like if you are a avid like gym goer and you're someone who goes 5, 6, 7 times a week, and you stop cold turkey for any length of time, and then the next time you go to the gym, you know it's gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, you're gonna feel like you're really far behind. Reading for me is a little bit like that. It's a muscle that I was flexing and I was using it daily, and then I stopped, and now there is this like anxiety over it. Like I know I need to just sit down and do it, but I also want it to be fun, and it has, like, anytime I've thought about it, it's felt a little bit like a chore, which is not ideal at all when you have a booktube channel. So yes, that is where I've been. Like, I just honestly needed to take a step back from a lot of things to focus on certain other things for my own mental health. And unfortunately that meant reading and this channel, but I want to come back. Like, I'm ready to come back, and I wanted to tell you what the plan is, and then I wanted to show you a little book haul, because for the first time in months I got excited about books and bought a bunch of books. So that's also going to be part of this video. But what is the plan for Literarily Smitten? Because I am not shuttering this channel, I'm coming back. But what does that look like? What can you expect? That sort of thing. I wanted to be completely transparent. And I'm sorry, I'm sitting by a window and I thought the light would be okay and it might not be. Let's see. Do I close the blinds? Maybe. We'll go with that for now. But yeah, so what's happening with this channel? So the plan is to come back with videos in January 2023. I figured to start off, I'm likely going to ease myself in with one video a week, just because I'm very, very out of practice with filming and with editing, but also I have a feeling to start, I'm going to be reading fewer books than I normally read because I'm trying to get back into the habit of it. So I'm going to take you on a lot of that journey with me and see how it goes. But yeah, so I feel like there'll be fewer books that I'm reading, so maybe fewer videos, and then I don't feel that pressure. But the plan is to eventually scale up again to what I was doing. I'm just trying to be gentle with myself. And also, like, I have things, exciting things that I want to do when I hit 1K. But in order to do that, I want to produce videos again, and I want to show you guys I am back. So in order to do that, I am going to start planning things. Hint, hint, there is a possible book club in the works. But figuring out the details and logistics of that and like what it could mean to be doing like 2 videos a week and all that stuff. But also, I do think you will likely see a bit more sort of lifestyle and definitely house content on this channel. There might even be some videos that are just dedicated to that. This is still going to be a booktube channel, don't worry. But like home ownership and this house, Florence, are my personality right now. Like, it's the TikToks I watch, the YouTube videos I watch. I'm constantly doing mood boards, figuring out things that I want to do to like put my like touch on the house. And so I feel like siloing that stuff and not sharing it with you guys is not being genuine to me. So I'm going to be sharing it with you guys, whether it's in vlogs, like reading vlogs, or whether, like I said, it's a few videos dedicated to certain things like that. That could very well happen. But yeah, it is my entire identity right now. So that's fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I am loving every minute of it, even the terrifying gas and electric bills I'm going to be getting this winter. But yeah, that's just how things are when you have a house, so dealing with it. But yes, so that is the plan as far as this channel goes. Trying to really get back into the swing of things, reconnecting with my booktube friends who I've kind of ghosted, and I apologize profusely, and just all the things. Like, the thing is like, now that I'm kind of on the other side of all of this, like, I am brimming with excitement and creativity and want to do things. Like, I'm even in the process of creating like an Etsy shop right now to sell digital prints of some of my like photography from my travels. Like, I'm like, give me all the projects. I want to do things. Like, I need to do things. So more on that later, obviously, once it's set up. But yeah, I'm just brimming with excitement and energy that I have not felt for like my creative outlets like booktube or like reading in a very, very, very long time. Now, because this is a booktube channel and I've done all the talking, and thank you if you've managed to get to this point of the video, I appreciate it. I have a little book haul for you. which this is from two separate hauls. One was a library book sale in my town, and the other was I was checking out my local Barnes & Nobles, which is huge in comparison to the one by my parents' house. And so I ended up buying books at each. And like I said earlier in the video, it's the first time I've gotten really excited about books. Like, I kid you not, these are the first books I've bought since probably June, July. Like, I had not been buying books because I had not been reading books. But I got really excited about the library book sale and very excited and energized by the massive Barnes & Nobles. So, these are the books. We got this, Mrs. Palfrey at the Claremont by Elizabeth Taylor, not the actress. I got very excited because I'm very into classic Hollywood, and the name, obviously, I was just like, it's not the same, but that's okay. It is a modern classic, and I'd seen it come out, I don't remember which imprint, but they were doing one. This is a different edition. This is the Virago edition, which is the same company that I have some of my gorgeous Daphne du Maurier books from. But I'm very excited about this. I think it's about like this woman who moves into a hotel and forms this relationship with another person who's either passing through the hotel or also lives in the hotel. But it seems like it's gonna be a book with an older protagonist, which we know I really enjoy, and I love that more mature protagonist representation. It's just a thing. It's what I also enjoy writing. Like, when I do my writing groups, most of the characters that I focus on are women, usually 55 and older, but I tend to have a sweet spot between 60 and like 75. So I'm looking forward to this, and it's just a gorgeous cover too, but it's definitely a modern classic and a mood for me. The next book from that same library book sale was Expectations by Anna Hope. And this book, it was funny because I saw it on Instagram like maybe a week before the library book sale. It was Nell Hudson, who is the actress in Outlander. She plays Marcelly's mother, and she randomly does these like videos on books that she's read recently, and she talked about this book. This is actually a UK edition, which makes me feel better because there's someone in my town who orders books off Blackwell. But this is a book about female friendship, and so I thought that would be interesting. I'm not someone who reads a lot of modern, like contemporary fiction, but the hook being female friendship in adulthood, I thought was interesting. So that's why I picked it up. Then another modern classic that I grabbed at the library book sale. Apparently no one but me loves these modern classics, because I went on the last day, the tables were wiped out, but everything was 50% off, and all of these modern classics were there. But I picked up Peyton Place by Grace Metalius. I've only ever seen the movie version of this. I've never read the book. I've never actually even seen the book in stores, but it's described as the blockbuster novel that shocked the nation. I don't know how shocking it will be to modern audiences now, but the original book was written in 1956. And so I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. I'm down for this. So that's why I picked it up. And the last book, like Florence, My House, The Blue Victorian, is my personality. This book is also my personality. I couldn't see this book and unsee it, and so I ended up buying it. It is The Russian Empire of Today and Yesterday by Nevin O'Winter. Okay, so this is a very old book, as you can tell. The pages are the cut pages, so they're not even. This is published in 1913, people. 1913. This is a history of the Russian Empire before the fall of the Russian Empire. Like, all of the history that most people know about, like the Russian Revolution, the Romanovs being executed, all of that, like Lenin, all of those things, it hasn't happened yet. This is from 1913. So how do you write a history without any of that in it? I am so jazzed about this. Is it something that I see myself reading from cover to cover? Probably not. I feel like it's really just a talking piece for me, but I might be tempted to read it at some point, and you guys have to let me know what you think. But like, look at these end pages and everything. I legitimately geeked out when I saw this because it was like, who else is gonna buy this book but me? I am very, very excited about it. Obviously it's not a book that is still in print, but yeah. And I mean, even look, like today is hyphenated. Like, what? I'm stoked. I'm very, very stoked about that. So those were the books from the library book sale, and then the books that I bought from the Barnes & Nobles were both new releases. One is Trespasses by Louise Kennedy, which has that kind of like cover art that looks like from the 1940s or 1950s, so I'm a sucker for it. But this is a book set during the Troubles in Belfast, and I read the Patrick Radden Keefe book, really, really enjoyed it, and wanted to learn more about the Troubles. Really want to see the Kenneth Branagh movie, Belfast, and haven't yet. I need to figure out where I can stream that actually. But this is a book about a woman living in Belfast and her kind of, I think, straddling both sides in some way, shape, or form. So I thought this would be interesting as like a fictional take on that historical moment, which I feel like people in the United States don't learn much about, like, at all. So very, very interested in that. And then the last of the books is The Color Storm by Damien Dibben, which, look at this cover though, like it's beautiful. It's set in Renaissance Venice, and it has a lot to do with this particular pigment that an artist tries to get his hands on, I believe. And there's supposed to be a lot of like intrigue and conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. All of those delicious things in this like Renaissance setting. So it is historical fiction, going back to my roots, but a slightly different like vantage point. Those are the books, and that is literally everything that I have to talk about today. But as I again want to just apologize to everyone who was wondering where I was and how I just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. I sincerely, sincerely apologize. I'm coming back in the new year, and hopefully you'll still be around. And yeah, that's where things stand. I will let you know about my like posting schedule once I know. I'm probably gonna try to do videos on Sundays again, but it's really just gonna depend on how I can start squeezing in and working in reading and actually like sitting and filming. But I'm coming back. That's all to say. I'm coming back and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the new year with all sorts of bookish content. Chat later. Bye.